All right, Mr. Music is back. Let's go over Chapter 6 review again, and this time we're doing 7, 8, and 9. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 7. In the school chorus, 4/24 of students are 4th graders. Yeah, that's just like you guys. So what we're looking at is, in the chorus there's 24 students, it looks like, and 4 of those 24 are 4th graders. So there's 20 other students that are different grades. In simplest form, I say simplify, you say divide. What fraction of the students in the school chorus are 4th graders? So what fraction? So I know my answer has to be in fraction form, because it says what fraction. What fraction of the students are 4th graders? And I need to put it in simplest form. So I say simplify, you say divide. That's right. So what can go into 4 and 24? Well, to do this, I need to find the factors of 4 and 24. So I pull out the 4, I pull out the 24. So what can I multiply together to get 4? Well, I can do 1 times 4, and I can do 2 times 2. Now again, since it's 2 times 2, I only need to write the 2 one time. Alright, let's look at 24. Well, I can do 1 times 24. I can do 2 times 12. I can do 3 times 8. I can do 4 times what is 24? Oh yeah, 6. Can I do 5? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Nope. If I count by 5s, I'll never land on 24, so I know 5 won't work. 6, yes, I already got that one. 7, no. 8, I already got it. Looks like this is it. Okay, so what is the biggest number they have in common? Well, the biggest number for my 4 is 4, so let's see if I have that number down here. And sure enough, I do. There's the 4. And 4. So I want to divide 4/24 by 4 over 4. Remember, 4 over 4 is the same thing as 1, so I'm not changing the value of this fraction. I'm just changing how many parts I'm cutting it up into. So 4 divided by 4 is 1 for my numerator. 24 divided by 4, well, I did that over here. Remember, 4 times 6. So 24 divided by 4 is going to be that fact family, 6. So for my fraction, for my answer, 1/6 of the students. And that's in simplest form. Remember, 1 and I'm done. If I get a 1 as my numerator, I know I don't need to simplify anymore. Okay. Now I want to go over something really quickly. This is a common error. Okay. So some students might get the 4 and the 24 and say, hey, I know 2 will go into both of those. And you're right, 2 will go into 4 and 2 will go into 24. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, 24 divided by 2 is 12, and that my math is correct, and so I come up here and I write 2/12. Now, what's wrong with that problem though? We know from the other example it's obviously the wrong answer, but all my math is correct. 4 divided by 2 is 2, that's correct. 24 divided by 2 is 12, that's correct. So think about it. What did I do wrong? Well, I didn't put it in simplest form, meaning I don't have a 1, so I don't know for a fact that I'm done. Remember, 1 and you're done. On the last example, we got 1/6, so I knew I had a 1 as my numerator, so I knew I was done. Here I don't have a 1, so I got to check. Can anything go into 2 and 12? And you probably already were thinking it. Yep, 2 can go in again. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 12 divided by 2 is 6, and now we get back to that correct answer we had last time. So this is a common error, and it's okay if you make the error as long as you double check. Is there anything else? Can I go further? Okay. It's okay if you just say, oh, I know 2 will work. Well, that's fine, and that's actually good sometimes, because then you get smaller numbers to work with. But remember, if it asks for simplest form, you got to keep going as far as you can. Okay, if you get a 1, you know you're done. Now, if you don't, Just double check and make sure, see if you can go any further. Okay, let me delete that. Okay, let's go to number 8. Which pairs of fractions are equivalent? Mark all that apply. Okay, this is another direction that 4th graders have a hard time with, and we're going to continue to see it throughout the year. Excuse me. If it says mark all that apply, it means that maybe all of these are correct answers, maybe one of them is a correct answer, 2 could be, 3 of them could be correct answers. We don't know, but we got to check each one, and if it's true, if it is an equivalent fraction, if they are equivalent fractions, then we fill in the dot next to it. So for however many that could be, it could be all of them, it could be one of them, I mean heck, it could be none of them. But let's check. Okay, 8/12 and 2/3. So if I'm comparing 8/12 with 2/3, okay, I want to see, are these equivalent? Well, I'm going to divide because I'm going from a bigger number to a smaller number. Well, I know 8 divided by 4 equals 2, and then that tells me automatically, remember, I can only divide or multiply by 1, so this has to be a 4. And I check now. I don't just assume that that's right, I got to check it. 12 divided by 4, does that equal 3? Yes, it does, so we know that this one is, in fact, these two are equivalent. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to let you do that one on your own. I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to let you do that one on your own. So you got to check these. They could be correct or they might not be. I don't know. I'm not going to do those two for you. Now let's go to the last one. I will show you that so you have another example. Okay, so now I'm going to the last one. I have 7/10 and I have 21/30. Now again, I'm going from a smaller number to a bigger number, so I'm going to multiply. Now I could start at the top or the bottom. I know my tens really well, 10, 20, 30. So if I multiply 10 times 3, I know I'm going to get 30. Now, since I start at the bottom, I have to use the same thing on the top, a 3. And then I check. Does 7 times 3 equal 21 as well? Yes, it does. So we know, yes, this is true, that those two are equivalent fractions. Okay. Again, if you need to rewind the video to get my markings, feel free to do so. Don't forget to check these two. I didn't check those, so make sure you check these two. Okay, number 9. Sam worked on his science fair project for 1/4 of an hour on Friday and ½ an hour on Saturday. What are 4 common denominators for the fractions? And then here's the kicker, explain your reasoning. Okay, so it doesn't want to know. It doesn't want to know how long he practiced for. Okay, usually a question like this, that's what they would be asking, but we need to pay close attention to what are they actually asking me to find. It just says find 4 common denominators for these two fractions. So I have the fraction 1/4 right here, and I have the fraction 1/2 here. And I'm just finding common denominators, so I'm going to pull out just the denominators, 2 and 4. Okay. So I'm going to count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now a lot of students ask me, Mr. Music, how far should we go when we're finding multiples to find the common denominators? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on how far you need to go. Sometimes you'll need to go further. Sometimes you only need to do a couple. I usually start with about 5 of them, and then if I am able to get my answer from those 5, then I'll leave it there. If I can't, I'll go back and do more. Okay, so let's go down to 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so 2, 4, okay, 4, there's a common denominator. So what are 4 common denominators, though? We need to find 4 of them. So 4 is a common denominator. That's 1. 1 that we found that's common. There's another one, 8. So 8 is a common denominator. So now I found 2, but I need to find 4 of them. Okay. 10, no, I don't see 10. Okay, well, so there isn't 4, right? Wrong. Remember, if I don't find it the first time, I'll keep going. And I'm going to start down here because, see, notice I only got to 10 here and I got all the way up to 20 here. I'm going to start with my 2's because I want to get closer to that 20. So 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now I can always go back and do my 4's too, but until I get my smaller number up to the biggest number here, I'm going to stick with doing my 2's rather than going back and doing both my 2's and my 4's. So let's check again. Okay, 8 was our last comment. Oh, 12. There's 12 now. That's common. So there's a third one. And then, oh, 16. There's a fourth one. And then 20 is common as well, but the problem only asks for 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 common denominators. So I'm done, right? Wrong, exactly. I need to now explain my reasoning, okay? And really, don't get too caught up in this, okay? I have a lot of 4th graders that say, well, I don't know, what do they mean by explain your reasoning? Well, really, they just want to know, what did you do? Put it in words. If you were to explain how you did this problem to a 2nd or a 3rd grader, what would you tell them? Because they're going to, a 2nd or 3rd grader is going to look at that and see these numbers and go, what did you do? And so you just explain what you did, okay? So what did I do? Well, I found the multiples. And again, your handwriting will be better than mine. I'm trying to write on a computer and it's not fun. I found the multiples of the 2 denominators right? Here are the multiples of the denominator 4. Here are the multiples of the denominator 2. So I found the multiples of the 2 denominators, period. Then I found 4 that they had in common. Okay, and that's all they mean by explain your reasoning. Just explain what you did in words. Okay, first I did this, then I did this. So if somebody else was trying to learn how to do this, you could essentially teach them how to do this. Okay, that's all it means. All right, thanks again, and I will see you on the next video.